Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 25th season of the Great British Bake Off, AP Chemistry Edition. I am your host Gordon Ramsay, and we are kicking off this season with a slight twist. Our contestants here today are going to test the differences between real sugar and sugar substitutes. Each participant will draw out of the hat to determine whether or not they will bake using real sugar or artificial sugar, but we will get into that later. For now, let's introduce our contestants. First up, Peter Allen.
Hey, my name is Peter Allen, and I was born and raised by wolves in a grassy field near Newcastle. My favorite hobbies are Mongolian swamp racing and traveling. I also dabble in baking, as you probably could have guessed.
Splenda is formerly known as sucralose, and sugar is known as sucrose. To be honest, I really hope I don't have to bake my banana bread using the Splenda. The way in which Splenda interacts with yeast inhibits the bread from rising. This is because yeast consumes sucrose as an important source of energy that allows it to release carbon dioxide as the reaction occurs. This gas is stored in the air pockets of the bread and allows it to rise. This can't occur with sucralose because it is missing 3 hydroxide groups that are present in the traditional sucrose molecule, and it rather has 3 CO2 bonds in the place of these hydroxide groups.
This makes it less capable of performing hydrolysis reactions that allow the bread to retain its moisture throughout the cooking process. What? You're impressed by my knowledge of chemistry? I'm a little rusty, to be honest. The bottom line is that I'm not worried about losing this competition. I doubt Ava even knows what an amino acid is.
Next up is Ava Berry.
Hey guys, my name is Ava. I have 9 toes and my favorite color is brown. It's the same color as chocolate chips. I love sugar. Sadly, my dad has diabetes, so we can't have sugar. So I've learned to bake things very well without using it. To be honest, there's barely a difference in the sweetness between the two.
I don't know much about the chemistry of making bread, but I'm certainly passionate about eating the final product. My father taught me a beautiful lullaby when I was just a wee tadpole. Amino acids and sugar alternate as temperature begins to escalate. The Maillard reaction takes the crown, allowing our food to be golden brown. That's on Caramelization Town.
Don't ask me what that means. I just like the tune. I hope that I win this money, especially to fund my dad's diabetes medication, and I want to open my own bakery that others can come and enjoy the amazing food that I can create, and yeah, that's who I am.
Wow, that was not inspiring at all. Now that our competitors have gotten a chance to introduce themselves, it's time for the drawing. Take your pick. Fake sugar! Peter, that means you have real sugar. Now that you both know what sweetener you have to use, you have 1 hour to bake your banana bread. Let the baking begin in 3, 2, 1, bake! So Peter, what just happened, mate? Well, I thought this sugar looked like flour, so I added it to my bowl, and it's not even flour. Rough mistake, man, rough mistake.
Hey, I was
What are you doing? I need flour.
No, but
I need flour.
No.
Stop.
Hey.
Stop.
Hey!
Hey guys, cut it out. Part of being a good baker is working well with others. Kind of like an acid-base neutralization reaction. So Ava, how's it going with the Splenda so far?
It's going pretty well actually, since I've grown up baking with Splenda, and these chocolate chips that I found actually have no sugar in them. So,
Nice.
Also, Gordon, if you look really closely, you can see the Cl bonds with the sucralose.
Okay, whatever. What's so funny, Peter? Nothing, it's just funny how her sugar is missing 3 traditional hydroxide groups that make the bread much more tasty and fluffy in your mouth. Can't wait to taste her chunky bread. Alright mate, so you think you're gonna win? Does the oxygen molecule have 6 valence electrons? Duh. Of course I'm gonna win. I had a little slip up in the beginning, but I'm locking in now, Gordon.
Well, you're going
So Ava, Peter already has his bread in the oven, so I'm just wondering, are you a little bit nervous that you haven't even finished stirring your bread yet?
I'm almost done. I just need to add the chocolate chips and then I'll put it in the pan and I'll be ready to bake.
Yo, Peter, my boy, what just happened, mate? Well, the endothermic reaction from the bread being in the oven caused it to be so hot, I just burned my finger. Do you need a medic? Nah, I should be good.
Alright folks, 10 seconds left on the clock. Can Ava get her bread plated in time? 3, 2, 1, hands off, hands off.
Contestants, please bring your plates to the front of the room. I'm gonna try Peter's first. So, you had it baked using real sugar, correct? Yes, chef. Notice how the bread is a little bit more fluffy and it rose a little bit more because as the yeast reacted with the sucrose, otherwise known as real sugar, it allowed that carbon dioxide to get trapped in the air pockets of the bread and it rose more. Wow, it's so rich and a little bit on the sweeter side. And I must admit, I love how fluffy it is. Thank you, chef. Alright, next up we have Ava's fake sugar bread. So tell me, Ava, how did you fight the challenge of having to use Splenda, otherwise known as sucralose, in your bread?
Well, as I've said before, I have already had a lot of experience with baking without using real sugar. It just shows how strong of a baker I can be. For today, the banana bread that I have for you is a loaf using Splenda sugar rather than granulated sugar. I use Lily's baking chips that have 0 added sugars to them to add richness in my recipe. I hope you like it.
Wow. I know you had a lot of pressure having to bake with those time restrictions, but I must say, Ava, you really pulled through in this texture. It's beautiful.
Thank you, chef.
Alright guys, thank you so much for your participation in this baking competition. I must say, both of your variations of the banana bread were terrible. Both of them. Horrible. Dirt in my mouth. It's gonna take some time to come up with a conclusion of whose was better. Ladies and gentlemen, I've tasted both banana breads thoroughly, and I've come to the conclusion that I can't choose. I can't choose. I need some help. Why don't you guys make the choice yourselves?